Yeah, it's kind of black screen. I'm tired. But I figured I wanted to give you a quick energy update. How y'all feeling with this Saturn Uranus square? Tell you what, I'm down for the count today. Wow. All the crazy energy that's coming right now. So if you're feeling this, you're being upgraded. Happy full moon in Aquarius. I was on a few different live streams today. I missed the majority of Salties and then he took it down, so that kind of ticked me off. But I'm realizing that there's a lot of people that are in just in regular, normal, everyday life, and they think they're depressed. Here, they're going through an awakening. I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with them. Just from what the one fellow was describing, and it was funny because I asked him if he was a tourist because he always talks about good food and stuff. And he actually responded, he said, no, I'm an Aquarius. And I'm like, oh, that's why you're feeling this crazy shit. Like, I figured out what was going on with him then. Thinking you're going through a massive awakening right now, buddy. Welcome to the rest of us. He just seriously thinks that he's really anti, he doesn't like being around, gets anxiety and stuff being around people. And I'm thinking, that was all of us. That's exactly what we're going through. So he's going through a major, major awakening, and I don't think he really realizes it. But when I'm like, oh, he's in Aquarius, he's getting squared by his home planet and Saturn. That's exactly what's going on with him. He's having an awakening. I wish he would understand the whole astrology thing. Because he actually said, oh, y'all believe in that zodiac stuff? He's like, I'm not really. I'm thinking, yeah, you're alien, dude. You're the first ones we're going to come to. The first ones, when the aliens land, you're the first ones we're going to talk to. It's the Aquarius. You better wake up. Anyway, how are y'all doing? We're going to talk about the supernatural a little bit. Because it's taken, like, there's a lot of people who think, due to, what's happening in the political sphere and all that, and they're being awakened to that part of it. Like, the majority of people I understand now really are not, they really don't want anything to do. They would freak out if they saw a ghost. They would legit freak out if the supernatural showed itself to them. So, like, I kind of understand it, I do. And it's fine, people are going to awaken in their own time. However, when you were born like this, and you've been trolled by spirits and stuff like that since the time you were born, and just energies and negativity, and pretty much, how we were. Anybody who's gone through this, what we've gone through since the time we were babies. Like, I was haunted from the time I was in the womb. I was being trolled. For Pete's sakes, I have a picture of my parents. And when they were pregnant with me, and there was light anomalies in the picture. This 1111. There was syncs happening when my mama was pregnant with me. That's the type of supernatural shit I've had in my life. And then the syncs just show up in my adulthood, and I'm thinking, this was happening since before I was born. I was legit being trolled. Dude, my baby picture has the nurse's hand in it. For Pete's sakes, I legit am the Ace of Wands. I am that damn spark. Like, legit, if I do tarot card deck ever, I'm going to have that as my Ace of Wands. It's going to be that picture. I'm an Aries. with a stellium there. I am the Ace of Wands. Okay? I was being trolled before I even came out into this 3D matrix. They've been trolling me. And many people, if they'll just sit back and think of all of and think about all of the crazy shit that happened in their life, they're going to realize there were supernatural things playing out all around you anytime you've had some kind of weird experience. I don't know about you, but dude, you know how things like feel like they're going in slow motion, like when you fall or when you it's happened in car accidents, that type of stuff, you feel like you're in slow motion. Yeah, that's because the Matrix is glitching at that point. That's what that is. There's a battle going on at that time. Angels and like dark forces trying to take you out. That's a glitch. That's why, like, even when you step in, it's almost like stepping into a portal, guys. That's when I saw my experiences when I was in Gettysburg. It kind of felt like it was in slow motion. It kind of felt like we drove into a damn portal. I shit you not. And it wasn't just me that saw this. There was 4 other people that saw the exact same thing I did. My mother is one of them. She does not like talking about it at all. Scared the shit out of her. Because when I spoke, it manifested in 3D color. I mean, it didn't help that like there was an Aries spark there with a Virgo pulling that into the 3D, and then there's a Gemini there, that is all about that. Along with, 2 other females in the back seat. Like, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. They legit were freaked out. I lost those 2 friends after that. Like, that's the type of shit that would happen to me. And any of them can say, yeah, it happened. I do not tell a lie. I'll tell you what, those were some of the good times I had with my auntie. I can hear that. That was a good time. It was scary and kind of weird, and it felt like it was very weird. Very weird. That wasn't the only, that was the only time I ever had like that full-blown apparitions just right there with blue lights like all around them, bright blue light. It was the weirdest thing. They look like statues with a blue light around them. In full color though. They were soldier apparitions. It was the weirdest shit I've ever saw. By the way, they're doing reconstruction up there. I usually go and visit once a year. Pay my respects. Anywho. Yeah, they're doing some construction up there. Like, they took those cannons away. Really kind of upset me. They took the one statue away. They took the one crazy statue that actually, oh my gosh, TV got freaking. They have a video of something coming out of that, like big mist coming out of that statue. Legit. Check that channel out. About their Gettysburg shit. Yeah. Absolutely crazy. The interesting part about it was when that happened to me, I did not understand it. And then I go to church following Sunday and I'm like, what was this that happened? Like, what the hell did I see? My preacher couldn't at that time. He couldn't answer. I mean, you get the typical Christianese answer. Like, that wasn't good enough for me. There was more behind it. He didn't say go check out the Book of Enoch or anything. Like, I had to find all this stuff on my own during my own awakening. You know? I knew one thing when I had my experience with the Most High. Then I really got propelled. This was all happening to me before I got activated by angels, and I started with my healing gifts at that point. I mean, but we can go back and talk about my childhood first. Every single house I lived in was haunted. Every single one of them. I was trolled my whole damn life. It was that bad. I would have nightmares every night. I legit would go and sleep in my parents' room on the floor till I was out of that house. I did not like my bedroom. I didn't like any bedroom I had. And hell, even when I'd sleep in, I shit you not, even when I'd sleep in their room, I'd legit crawl under their bed because I was that freaked out at nighttime. I'm telling you, I had crazy shit happen to me. You know, I'd go visit with family members and I'd be trolled at their house by spirits and shit. What, Liv? I'm on live on YouTube. Hold on a minute. Huh?
Okay, good night. Sorry for being cranky today.
Yeah.
I'm just freaking stressed. Now that that's done, all I gotta stress about is the spinal, and then I'm all done.
Go to bed.
You'll have peace and harmony for 2 weeks.
Thank God.
I love you.
Love you. Hey! Actually, you can help me out cleaning up and stuff around here.
Okay, just know that you and I are working on our cycles.
I've already got mine.
I know, because I'm gonna get mine in.
Oh, no wonder you're a crank.
I'm gonna get it tomorrow.
Good night. Oh, sorry, she just talks crazy shit. But anywho, yeah, every house that I've lived in. Yeah, and that's not like, oh my God, yeah, she slept in her parents. You're freaking right, I did. I was haunted since I was a kid. You know, and I try and tell my parents and shit. I'll never forget one time I had a dream about my great grandma that passed away. I was bawling coming out of my dream. I'm like, I miss Grammy, and I don't even know because I didn't really know Grammy that well. It was weird. I know my father was very close with her, but she had dementia the majority of the time that I was alive. Like, she died when I was like 8 or 9. I was pretty young. She had dementia a lot of that time. So I don't know why I would have been like that. I don't know. Especially coming out of a dream. I was like 11 or 12 at that point. That was weird. You know, and I also, that's when I started having prophetic dreams of the future and future events with people. Was when I actually hit my puberty, when I actually was like 12, 13. That's when I started being able to know things about what was going to happen. I actually had a dream that my first love was going to break up with me and how he was going to do it. And that's exactly what happened. It's like self-fulfilling type prophecy stuff. It was weird. And I can't explain it. Like, it was just weird. Anybody else relate? That's the type of shit I'm talking about. This has been my whole life. Like, I'd go to family members' houses and I'd be haunted there. and I'd have freaking horrible dreams, and my cousin would attack. Like, dude, it was bad. I mean, that's kind of the broken branch, whatever. But yeah, that cousin, oh wow, I'm not even gonna go there. No shade. She had some problems. I don't know. My grandma never liked her. Just put it that way. My grandma was my Leo grandmother. Actually, all three of my grandmas were Leo, but no, my favorite Leo. She never really. I mean, and it's bad to say, but like she always had a real weird feeling when it came to her. I don't know why. Well, I kind of do now. I mean, she did end up kind of cray, but that's neither here nor there. When she passed away, I pretty much wanted nothing to do with any of those people. That's when I really started the cutting off of people, was back then. I was like, screw this. You're no longer my family. You want to talk about my grandma like that? I think not. That was the other thing that happened to me when she passed away. I went down to see her that day. And she still had her mind the whole entire time up until the time she passed away. But I ended up going to visit her, and then I had to go in for an evening shift where I worked. And I got off at like 9:30, 10 o'clock and closed. And then friends of mine that were in there, I met them down the street at the Legion from where I lived up in Jersey Shore. And they said about, stopping in. So I walked up because I don't drink and drive. So I stopped up there, and I'm sitting there, and I started drinking a Long Island iced tea, and all of a sudden my head just started pounding like a migraine pound it, and like almost like a shooting pain in my freaking temple. And all of a sudden I started getting anxiety, and I told the people that I was only there for like 20 minutes to a half hour. I'm like, I gotta go. I'm like, something doesn't feel right. I shit you not. I get home and I walk in the door to my apartment, and the phone rings at like a little after 12 o'clock at night. And it was my dad, and he didn't even have to say anything. I said, Graham's gone, right? So she died around 11:27, right? And he's like, yeah. Well, they said at 11:30 they pronounced. I'm like, yeah, I felt it. That's the stuff I'm talking about. So I know that side's part of my soul fan. That's why I'm very I know I never met my grandfather on that side. I've told the story a bazillion times about how he passed away. It was crazy. That was some of the craziest shit that I've ever heard in my life. My dad, personally, he saw a UFO before, type of shit. Like, he doesn't know what it was. Okay, he doesn't know if it. He didn't know. He figured it was some for whatever. But he saw one of them triangle UFOs with 3 lights on it and a light in the middle. He saw one of those, which are known to be the Draco freaking, I'm pretty sure, or it might be the Tall Grays. I'm pretty sure that's their ships, from what I hear. And I've had dreams of UFOs. I've actually saw the silver ball Tic Tac type in my life. I saw that once, and then I had a freaking time. I was missing like over an hour of time. That's the type of, I don't remember anything. I've known people ask me to have past life regression. No, I don't even want to know. And that was in between. I'm jumping around, guys, but that was back after I divorced my first husband and was dating my second. So that was back in 98. Yeah. No, when I was pregnant with my Aries daughter, I knew when I got pregnant with her. I knew it. I knew she was a girl. I kept telling everybody it's a girl, and they're like, it could be either or. I'm like, no, you'll see, I'm getting an ultrasound. I'm telling you, it's a girl. And then if I would ever waver in my head, I would hear in my gut, like in my head, her and I have a telepathic communication. I hear, I'm a girl. And I'd be like, maybe it is a boy. I'm a girl. That type of shit. Me and her have that connection. I mean, she was just saying about her cycle too. Yeah, her and I we're synced up in so many different ways. It's crazy. And I've come to conclude that, you know, I can kick people out of my energy field. I used to not know how to do this. I'd just be a freaking energy portal for everybody. Now I'm very exclusive with who I give my stuff to. I understand that's probably one reason why a lot of people try to come back and get in my energy and stuff like that. A lot of people, they just kind of had to teach me lessons to not so easily trust everybody, you know? That was something that I had to learn and grow up as an Aries and not be naive. Because that is one fault that my sign does have, is we want to trust and believe the best in everybody, and then it's not the way life is. But we have a trusting nature by nature, so when someone hurts us, what does a toddler do when they get hurt? They go into tantrum mode. And that's one thing that us Aries had to curb. Not saying we don't get mad. Not saying that we just, get older and we figure out a different way to throw a tantrum. If that makes any sense. But yeah, most people, I don't think that they realize just how much the supernatural is always going on around us, and all that chatter that's going on in our brain a lot of times is thought projections. And let's talk about thought projections. This is some Aquarius stuff going on here. Aquarius is that telepathy is an Aquarian gift. They always say, aliens and stuff, they can speak telepathically. That's why many of us have awakened this. Oh, okay. Oh, I just talk about a bunch of my supernatural experiences. I mean, I've had so many. Oh, how are you feeling during this full moon? I know the full moon's tomorrow, but man, oh man. The energy, this is a super full moon, so it's not even just a full moon, it's a super moon. So it should be pretty big outside right now. It's actually retrograding on my my masculine's. It's conjunct his north node. Or no, it's on his north node, squaring Saturn's on his north node, retrograde, squaring Uranus. Yeah. Well, one of the things that I found out, that I wasn't the only one that was able to freaking feel and see ghosts and stuff like that, has been my dad's whole side of the family. We all have this. Many of us, we just, we all have a knack to understand the supernatural. We all are drawn to it. We are. We're just drawn to know. Like, we all have a really loving relationship with God, but we know that He's created more than just humans and what we see. My whole dad's side of the family knows. My Grammy, his grandmother, my Grammy, the one I was talking about at the beginning of this, she knew him when my uncle was killed in World War II. She knew that she woke up at the time he was shot. So she had these gifts. Everything I tell you, I can back up with facts. All of them. My Aunt Jude, she's an Aries. She had a supernatural freaking experience with the divine. I'm not going to go into what exactly happened with her because it's pretty personal, but she was almost dead, put it that way, and God came through not once but twice for her. It was a miracle. Just put it that way. It was. She has a reason to be here. She's an Aries. She was also born with a veil on her face. Do you know what that means? It means she had a covering over her. I'm pretty sure it's like a thin layer of skin or something. And that's supposed to be some for kind of supernatural thing. Yo, I'm telling you, my family is, if they would understand who they are, we are freaking divine. We came from a divine line of royals. Same with my mom's side. Now I have more of, for some reason, I'm much more, I can't even explain it. I'm much more, I feel much more a part of Pop's side of the family. I always did. And it wasn't that I saw them less than my mom's side. Au contraire. I saw my mom's side a lot more than I did my dad's because they lived in town with us. And it wasn't that there wasn't anything really that mom's side was, mean or terrible or anything. I've had supernatural alien activity since I was a child and found out. Yep. Well, I'm not really sure about the alien stuff with me. I'm positive probably. I didn't have that happen until I was older. I actually had a dream that it wasn't like a full-blown big ass. Me and my dad have the same blood type. My sister and my mom have the same blood type. Everybody's like, are you RH negative? I'm like, nope. Everyone thinks because of how psychic and stuff I am and how I have the gifts to channel and the gifts to freaking... I never took a tarot class. That's what I try and tell people. This was downloaded. I've studied the ancient texts and I've studied I'm positive. I'm on the positive side of the RH factor. So is Pops. Now, Mom, she and my sister both are RH negative. I'm a positive. That freaking picture of my parents when they were pregnant with me, and that 1111 etched in with the light anomalies in that picture, which I've blasted it. I blasted it on YouTube. I've actually had those pictures as thumbnails. I don't give a shit. Like, for real. That's my life. I was being trolled before I was born. This is the chosen one, 1111. Dear Lord. Whoever's on here, if you're not talking, can you at least hit the like button? I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, I don't have really anything to say bad about my family lines. Anything that has happened to me up to this point was a blessing. And it was all to teach me something, about myself. And to, like, iron sharpens iron, right? Even when people are mean to you. You got to make lemons out of lemonade. Whether people are nice or mean to you and whatever. Anybody who's betrayed you or backstabbed you, that was to teach you not all people are going to have your back. What are you going to do about it? That was your forgiveness moment. And not forgiveness for them, but forgiveness so that you're free of it. Doesn't mean, but you have to learn the lesson. You don't need them people in your life. It's all good. You just can't hate them, which I don't. I don't hate nobody. I want everybody to succeed. I hope everybody makes it out the apocalypse alive and with their brain still intact. All I want to do, seriously, is enjoy my life. But it seems like God has something bigger than that. Than me just being in my comfort zone, enjoying my life anymore. And I'm like, all the stuff that I've been hearing and seeing, I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's crazy. And I kind of go back and forth on the whole, since it's not being censored yet, I guess I can talk about the whole. I mean, I don't really want to get on this, but I'm just going to say something quick here because it's all over the news, about what happened down in Florida. Y'all know about. I'm thinking, was this all just for political theatrics? Just to get everybody fighting? Like, was this to start the bullshit with the Civil War? Like, are they all in on this together? This to get the normies pissed off and upset. I mean, think about it. It's the way the media works. They tell you a vision, don't they? It doesn't mean it's the truth. Like I said, I don't trust any of them. I think so too. And everybody, like, at first I was a little bit, I'm still going to vote for the lesser of two evils. That's for damn sure. And this has nothing to do with nation or differently. I don't give a shit. People are people. They're just playing a role. They came here with a script to play that role out. People are going to be who they are. It's called the Matrix. Enough of that. All right, let's talk about Supernatural again. That's much more better. I agree, 1,000. We do need fresh people. All of them do have to go. They're getting old and boring at this point. They really are. Like, come on. I don't want to see that old hag. All of them are like beady-eyed and they look like, dude. I'm just like, God. Can't we find better actors at this point? Like, at least better ones to look at? This ain't no fun no more. We should do that. Well, I did find it interesting that I think I've been talking about that on the starseed readings I've been doing.
You know? And the weird part is I don't realize when I do those readings that I'm actually picking up on matrixy stuff. But it's coming out in the cards. Yeah. And the thing is like, then it comes out on the fucking news, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? Just like when I said about that, like I thought it was seriously going to be a tsunami, and no, here it was, the freaking Hoover Dam. Well, I knew there was a wall of water. Something was about to happen with water and fire, and a transformer blew out at the Hoover Dam. Thanks, God. I just figured it'd be a tsunami. Oh, that's coming, I'm hearing. Oh, boy. They have to play out 2012. Okay. I mean, we've already had the supermassive tornadoes in December and January and February. Goes right along with that global warming. You know? They have to make it look good. That's why they use the movies to tell us a vision about what's going to happen. And then when people have manifesting skills like us, we bring it into fruition. Yeah, well, there's going to be other things that are. The air and water signs are going to have to freaking start praying against these hurricanes. The earth signs got to step up and freaking say, no. Fire signs can't do a whole lot in that. We're over here too busy making magma and getting ready to blow volcanoes apart. Spreading some wildfires. That's what Sagittarius is all about. Anyhow, Leo just sustains it. Smoldering burn. I understand this whole elements thing, and I understand it, and I can see it in the way natural disasters happen. I think that's my Pluto 12th house talking. Your body is taking a beating? Yep, mine too. Today was really bad day, guys. Today was, well, I can't say it was bad. I've had much worse. But today was low energy for me. If I didn't have to deal with the Gestapo agencies around here, my mood would be a lot better. But considering that Saturn is squaring Uranus on the North Node, yeah. I've had to deal with 3D fucking people. How do you think my mood is? It showed up in my dude, I shit you not. I'm recording and I left it in there because it's a synchronicity. I'm in the middle of recording Capricorn's reading, and the fucking code enforcement shows up at my door just to give me a message to call to the code office. They needed to talk to me. I'm like, you had to show up at my door to tell me to call down to the code office. And you're here. What do they want? Can't you just tell me what they need? That's the stupidity I'm dealing with. They couldn't just give me a note and say, here, let me know. Give us a call when blah, blah, blah. No, they couldn't let me know. They couldn't just hand me a note. Call down to the office. She needs to talk to you. What the fuck? That's how it's going. And then in another week and a half, I have an inspection. So I have to see them again. And then I have to go in and take my rental permits in there. Yeah, there's a bunch of, that's one office. I call them, dude, let me tell you something. Let's tell my friend on the phone. I'm like, look, I don't know what the hell's going on around in these municipalities, but what in the hell did code enforcement start riding or driving around in police cars with bulletproof vests? That's what I want to know. I'm like, why do they have like riot gear that says code enforcement that's bulletproof on it? The fuck? It's in like a cop car that says code enforcement. It's like, did they freaking deputize all the fucking code enforcement here? It's very odd. But I take notice to everything. And anytime I see that type of shit, yeah, like, I don't like talking to those people. Look, I pay a management company. To manage my rentals so that I don't have to deal with this bullshit. They get 10% of the amount I take in rent so that I don't have to deal with these companies. I don't like it in the Matrix, people. It's why I pay these people to do this. It's not like I just have one little free. No, I have a couple that they get rent off of. This is their job, not mine. I don't want to have to talk to code enforcement. I don't want to have to talk to them about freaking anything. You give me the list of anything that needs fixed. Fine, come back and check it. I don't want to talk. Dude, these type of people, they'll just show up at my house and start asking me questions. So what are you doing? Where are you working? Oh, yeah. Tell me what I should do with my properties. And I'm thinking, get off my freaking front lawn. Why are you here? I keep my grass cut. I keep my properties looking decent. And I don't cause anybody any problems. Why can't you just leave me alone? That's what I mean by the Gestapo. They're always watching. And here's the thing. They make a really bad on landlords. Maybe. Oh, like, I already know what I'm going to do. Because I'm pretty sure the one dude's casing out my house. I think he wants to buy it. But anywho. Sometimes I have to stay away from them. I'm an Aries. Yeah. I have a Capricorn moon. How do you think I feel? I know what these people's intentions are. And they're not good. They know that I read tarot for a living. So I can't wait to tell them if any of them, yo, my property's extremely haunted. Do you still want to buy it? Because when I leave, the shit, I have it held at bay. I got angels all around me. I have it held at bay. But when I get out of here and I sell, can you imagine? Whoever moves in here next. Yeah. Have fun with that. Especially if you do something to hurt me. Have fun with that. The overseer over this, spiritually over this area, is one of my guides. So, because I'm one of the healers in this area. And if you know anything about Native Americans, they had healers too. They recognize the anointing. Especially the ones in high council. So yes, automatically, he's one of my guides. I already know I'm doing a tarot deck and I'm doing an oracle deck. I'm hoping to freaking go get the rest of my pictures over the next week and a half to 2 weeks. I got to be driving around this town and taking pictures. And then I'm going to go get them out. And I'm going to have my own Oracle card deck with the pictures from around here, because I know when I get them and I bring that inside, I'm actually going to also over on BitChute, I'm going to start pulling tarot on certain. I want people to actually freaking email me with cold cases of stuff that they're dealing with, and I want to read cards on this shit. Like, I want to do cold case stuff. I really like to freaking I might check out like some of the freaking I really like to know about the dude from up in Lewisburg. However, since he was in with the Sandusky thing, and I'm hearing Sandusky was kind of in with the Epstein thing, I think I want to stay away from that. But I'd really like to know what happened to Ray Graycar. I really would. And it's interesting. My aunt was having premonitions about that too. However, if that's all part of that whole Epstein didn't kill himself type thing, I think I'll stay away from that. I just want to find out where missing people are, you know? Give people peace. So yeah, if I can help crack cold cases, that's kind of one of the things that I'd like to do with my gifts. That way families can get peace. I don't know if anybody else that really does. I know people like to pull cards on like mystery stuff, and that's cool. But I would like to do for people who are missing persons cases type stuff. And I'm pretty sure with the cards that, from what I've been shown of where I need to go take pictures, I'm pretty sure that I will be able to get specifics on cold case type stuff from what's around, just from the pictures that I know that I need to take for my Oracle deck. I already know what tarot card deck I want to do too. I already have the symbolism for them. It's all ear code stuff. Too bad I couldn't find somebody that really draw nice. I need an illustrator for it. Olsen, the military girl. I'm not sure what that one was about. Who's Dulce? Whoever's on here, can you please hit the thumbs up button? I see there's 2 people on here. Spiritual Prepper, did you hit the thumbs up button? You know, like I said, pulling for, I don't want to pull for like these elite people. Like, it seems like they come in my shit and then I end up friggin' stuff comes out. Oh, I started getting channel messages for some of the other signs as well. And I'm going to come after I go do my thing tomorrow, where I got to run down to the code office. This was a little girl who went missing. I don't remember that. What state was that in? Was it here in the U.S.? What state was it in? I don't recall. Like, I knew this shit happened with Gabby. I knew that. I knew for a fact that Brian Laundrie did it. I knew it. I figured he was too much of a coward to kill himself too. Just my opinion. It's big, and what year was that? I'm gonna have to look that up. Need to go down and get some iced tea. Hi, kitties. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I will have to check that out. I definitely will. Happened around 2000. Oh, that was a long time ago. I think I might have seen something on. I might have, because I watch true crime all the time. You know, and I know some people. You know, they do. Hold on, Blue. They do true crime. I saw a few people do pull tarot cards for true crime. I don't necessarily want to do true crime of stuff that was already freaking investigated. I want to do true crime on, hold on, Blue. Like I said, on things, people who are missing. If you hear my cat meow and I'm getting him water, stop. Oh my gosh. You had water, big baby. Fishies. I have no clue what kind of fish that is. Oh my god. It's definitely not, it's not a platy. Might be a guppy. She was never found. Oh my. Well, yeah, when I moved in, I really didn't get into a whole lot of talking about what happened here in my house. I've talked about it a little bit here and there, but yeah, I started having crazy supernatural experiences when I moved in here. And the thing is, it's like anybody that was around me started having the same shit happen. Like, it was like, and then, you know, have I been taken to strange places lately? Well, I went to Gettysburg on Saturday. After what happened last week with my kids and stuff, I tried to freaking get them in a different mind frame. So we went to Gettysburg for a little while on Saturday. Oh. Well, my dreams, I've been having dreams. I dream every time. It's just, when I wake up, if I don't write them down a lot of times, I'll forget. If they're a profound dream, I won't forget. Like when I've been having dreams of my masculine, like not bad dreams, not really good, just matter of fact dreams, you know, weird stuff. Like just like I know what's going on with him. Just put it that way, okay? We don't have to communicate at all, and I know what's going on with him. And that's the thing that freaks him out. And like our connection is really intense when we are actually in communication. So when we're not communicating, both of us can actually function. When we are, it's like we go in a damn time warp. It's weird. Because his energy is so, like, he vibrates very high, even though he's freaking, not the highest vibrational person, but he has he can vibrate very high. It's weird how to explain it. I don't know. This is weird. We connect on an energetic level that's otherworldly, just put it that way. We have the telepathy. I know what he's thinking. Get out of my head. I've heard that before. Sorry, I'm not trying to be in your head, dude. Like, yeah. It's funny. Such is life. Y'all know the struggle. You know, but I can do that with a lot of people, though. Yeah, I'll tell you what. When I told the Gemini, I was like, "Yo, he actually." I was thinking of him, and then that's been happening a lot too. I'll think of somebody, and then they'll message. Sitting there, I'm thinking, and then there was a synchronicity with it, and I was watching the Peace Dealer at the time, and the Peace Dealer said, Gemini," and I get a text message from a Gemini. And that's when I told him, "Yo, dude, this is what's going on." He came down briefly. I don't know why he had to come down here. Because I did tell him, yeah, that didn't work out. We just decided to chill out, and he told his woman, he's like, "I gotta go down and talk to them quick." I didn't know why. I still don't know why. I think he went to just make sure I was okay. I don't know. And I was more than okay, which is a supernatural thing in itself. But it's like, I know that, like, when it comes to me and him, like, we don't have any bad blood. We don't have any hatred. What'll be will be is kind of how both of us are looking at the whole thing. Like, if it's meant to be, fine. If it's not, fine. But either way, we're going to be okay. Like, this is probably the best breakup I've ever had with somebody. Still a lot of massive love and respect there. There's not, like, it's impossible at this point. So, and that's cool. As long as I have closure, it's extremely good. Yeah, like, it's one of those things where it's like, he knows that I'm not an asshole. To him, at least. I actually give a shit about him. Like, he knew this. So he knows I have his best interest at heart. So he knows that he could always reach out. And I mean, it's the same thing with, like, me and the, well, it's not the same thing. Me and the Gemini will never, ever be together. Ever. But I still love him to pieces at a distance. Like, he's got a baby and a wonderful girlfriend. Great. Now it's time for me to be happy. But yeah, like I said, I think he was, like, thinking I was in. Like, no, I said there's just too much with me and him that, like, we can't just be hating each other. It's not a good idea, and it's not a good look. Now, I can hate on the Gestapo all I want. And I shall. But, like, that's just the whole agency thing. I don't hate any particular person. I just don't like the way people run shit. I can't do Gemini either. Now, hold up. I have one friend that's a very good friend of mine that's a Gemini, but she's actually a progressed Leo at this point. She was born on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. Her and I are very, very close. I love her. That's the only Gemini that hasn't backstabbed me. Just put it that way. Any Gemini female I dealt with backstabbed me. Any one of them. But that's kind of just a part of their nature. It is. It's just a part of their nature at this point. Like, when you understand zodiac signs and you understand how they roll and, you know, their good points and bad points, you actually can you can understand, can have a little bit of more compassion, because that's just kind of innately what they do. So, like, that's why I don't hold it against Geminis at all. They're a dual sign for a reason. Just like Pisces, they're here and then they're not. They're here For a good time, not a long time, says Pisces. And Libra, well, they're just so damn, they're a dual sign too. I really wish that the zodiac would get it fucking right and actually put them in as a dual sign, because they are. That's why they're indecisive. They don't know if they want to be. They're constantly thinking in both directions all the time. They're looking for the balance of both directions. They're trying to find oneness. Oh, I'm a Libra rising. I know this. And I got Pluto there. Oh, we just want homeostasis and fairness and justice. And if something isn't fair and just, we're the first ones to speak up about it. Shout out to the Pluto and Libra generation. The ones who got screwed. Thanks a lot. Selfish Pluto and Leos, I'll tell you. All right, let me talk a little bit about my house, where I live now, and what happened. Well, I mean, my kids will even tell you about my house out in Middleburg. My ex-husband never felt a thing. Well, I think he has, but he just is too stubborn to actually. He's a Capricorn, so yeah. Try talking to a goat once about spiritual things. Now, some Capricorns are out there, they get it, but I think it's because they have other placements in their chart. He's like a triple Earth sign, double Virgo and Capricorn. No, wait a minute. No, he's a Sag rising. Virgo, moon, Capricorn sun. That's what I was married to. Jesus. Sag placements, I'll tell you. That's why I'm done with Sagittarius. My masculine only has Neptune and Sag like I do. He doesn't really have any Saturn placements. I can tell you one thing, though. He's like a 10 degrees progressed Capricorn at this point. So when he got busted, if I looked at his chart back then at the day that he went, I bet you 100 to 1, it was right when his sun sign progressed from Sagittarius into Capricorn. I guarantee it. He just finished up his Jupiter return in Scorpio. And he was on Sagittarius stuff. If you know what I mean. You know what I call Sagittariuses. That, or should I say, the Knight of Wands. He was on that Knight of Wands in and out bullshit. Yeah. All right, let's get off of that. We're going to go into what happened here at my house. And I have proof of friends. Well, I don't no longer really talk to any of these friends, but if I would ever ask them to verify if I'm lying, they would tell you that I'm telling the truth. All of them. I had a paranormal team come in for Pete's sakes. And I have friends here to watch as the freaking orbs were coming out of my daughter's closet. Yeah. Uh-huh. But, when I first moved in here, well, I was actually in the middle of it. I was remodeling before I moved in here. Ripped out all the old carpet, redid all the downstairs floors. I was freaking cleaning 2-3 houses a day and then coming here at nighttime, and yeah. I remodeled all of the hardwood floors downstairs, restained them. I sanded them down to the bare wood, stained them, and put like 6 coats of polyurethane on them. 7. It was a bunch. And then I put all brand new carpet in here. I painted everything, and it looked gorgeous. And then I had a couple renters move in here, and they fucking destroyed everything after a while. But well, when I started painting downstairs in my dining room, I shit you not, I was in the dining room, and there's, if you know where that little freaking place is there where it looks like the window, there's like a little cutout window in between my dining room and kitchen where I have my one fish tank at. I was in the dining room and I was in that corner, and the light that's on that chain, it actually had this ugly freaking, I don't know, light thing on it. It was ugly. So I changed it out. But that the light swung over and hit me as I was painting in the corner by itself. And I ended up getting on my little phone and I called my one friend and I'm like, dude, you gotta come down here right now. Shit's getting wild. And I'm like, he comes walking in. I'm like, do you feel that? And he's like, well, I'm like, don't you feel that? And he's like, yeah, kind of. And I'm like, dude, it's getting weird in here. Well, then that was the first thing that, I mean, I always felt like I was being stared at and watched when I was here. And then when I moved in here, I actually had another friend of mine that moved in with as a roommate because my daughter was still out with her dad. They were too little at the time. But anyway, they would come over here. They'd stay with me. And I figured if I had help paying the freaking utilities, that'd be great. So my roommate was here. He was painting up here. And his brother was here. And he was painting downstairs around the doorway, going out the front door. And I have, obviously, my dining room has all windows in it. It's all like a sunroom. And he's painting out down there around the door frame. And I'm up in the bathroom painting. And he yells up the steps at me. And he's like, Lisa, is that you up there? He's like, did you just walk down to the basement? I'm like, no, I've been up here in the bathroom painting the whole entire time. And his brother was back here in my bedroom painting. He comes running, skipping steps, running full force up the steps, almost fell up the steps. And he's like, Lisa, you know I don't believe in this effing shit. You know I don't believe in this shit. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I swear I just saw you walk down the stairs and go down into the base, walk around and go down into the basement. I'm like, he's like, well, it wasn't really like you. Somebody was wearing a dress. I'm like, well, you know I'm not wearing a dress. I'm standing here in freaking shorts. He runs up the stairs skipping, and I'm telling you, he was freaked. You know, I don't believe in this shit. You know, I'm like, I told you there was something here. I told you something's not right. Yeah. And, you know, we're telling people that this stuff is going on. And Sept excuse me, I didn't mean to say his name, but he knows he didn't believe in this stuff at all. And then that all kind of went wayward. And then I started dating the Gemini. That was back in 2008, 2007, 2008. Started dating that Gemini. And that's when things really got wild in this house. I mean, that's when I had to have the paranormal team come in. That's when things started missing. His mom would hear freaking, like that freaking whispering, but you couldn't make out what was being said, but you could hear they call it, I think, like magic whisper. I forget. There's a specific term for it they use in the paranormal community. Yeah, we caught that. She was saying about that. And then one time I was at work and he was upstairs with his buddy and he heard a little boy in the corner giggling we actually remodel. I have an attic room. That's like made into a nice bedroom up there. No, nobody uses it. We leave that for the ghosts to dwell in. We don't go up there, from spring till late fall. Sometimes my daughter will usually go up there and hang out with her friends. That was her hangout room. Was my bedroom at the time. I can't tell you how many times I've been pushed down the steps in this house. Oh yeah. I fell down the steps. I can't tell you how many times from being pushed. I've already found my freaking my roommate. I know he was plastered one night, drunk. And he actually went upstairs and freaking passed out in his room. I come back the next morning and he swears he didn't do it. But my front door window, the freaking my dining room chair was the top of it was through the fucking front door. Like, it broke the glass in the front door. I was pissed. I was so angry. I went upstairs. I grabbed a hold of that dude. I shouldn't have done it. But I'm thinking I can't even lock my damn door now. I was pissed. Well, I ended up kicking him out at that point. I'm like, enough of this. I'm having your brother come in here stealing my kid's medicine, and a lot of shit was going down. I had a lot of crummy friends, just put it that way. It was either that or the ghosts doing shit. Yeah, things started getting really, really, really bad in this house. I had to call a paranormal team to come in here. But prior to that, I had to have evidence for them to even come here. So we did an EVP session. The Gemini aunt who went to Gettysburg with me, her daughter came over here with her EVP recording thing. And we decided to, dude, I called her the night before, or was it the night before, 2 days before? Something like that. And this is when I started college. And at this point, I'm sleeping downstairs because I'm not freaked out about what the heck is going on in this house. Because the basement door kept unlocking itself and opening multiple times a day by itself. I legit would go down to work, to get up for work and have my coffee, and the basement door would be open. I legit felt like I was being chased. If I'd have to go to the bathroom and I felt like I was being chased through the hallway. Like, I just wanted to run and just hide under the covers then. Like, it was that intense in this house. Well, when my cousin came over and did that EVP session, you don't hear anything until you go back over it. And we had probably an hour to roughly a little over an hour of recording when she was here. And then when she went home, she was listening to it. And my mom ended up calling me. And she said, did your cousin get a hold of you? And I'm like, no, not yet. I'm like, why? She said, oh my God, Lisa. She said, you should hear what's on that EVP. And I'm like, oh, did she find some stuff? And my mom's like, oh my God, yeah. She said, you're going to have to call her, Lisa. It's really scary. And I called her, and there was 5 different spots on the EVP where we were getting grade A EVPs where you could legit hear what it was saying. One of the questions we asked is there a specific spot in the bathroom? Is there a specific spot in the house you don't want anybody at? What bothers you? And I shit you not, we heard 3 times consecutively in a row, it said, bathroom, bathroom, bathroom. There was a couple times where it answered yes or no very intelligently, not like how I'm speaking, but in that low or in that yes, you could hear it. Perfect grade A freaking EVPs. And at the very end, We go down. I was looking for my necklace because my necklace went missing, and guess what? It went missing again. And I shit you not, the dowsing rods took us down into the basement, and I was looking, and that's I think when I found that sword up in the frickin' rafters, which I have in my bedroom now. But yeah, I think it was like 53 minutes into that EVP recording. All of a sudden, nobody's in the living room. We left the EVP recorder on my pool table in the living room. Nobody was up here. We were all downstairs in the basement. And you could hear us in the background downstairs in the basement. And all of a sudden, on the EVP, you hear this. Help! Someone help! Get me out! Please, get me out! Legit, it sounded like she was choking. Get me out. I would legit wake up in the middle of the night and it would smell like something was like electrical burning, like something hot in the walls burning. And I'm like, I would every night, like I would go walk through the house, everything was fine. And all of a sudden I wouldn't smell, nobody else would smell it but me. Yeah, that EVP, my cousin's like, you might want to hear this. I'm like, well, yeah. I said, if I have that, I need that. Can I borrow it so that I can give it to the freaking, the paranormal people when they come over to let them know I have this. I got evidence. And you know the most messed up part about it? Do you know how many people gaslit me and told me I was crazy, that I didn't hear what I heard? When everybody else heard it on the EVP people in this community, when I said about how haunted this place was, they said I was fucking crazy. But if Auntie or Cuzzy gets on here, they can tell you I ain't lying. Yipper. Yeah. That was on that. Those were the ones that were on my mom's side of the family. They also like to ghost hunt, so that's why she had the dowsing rods and the EVP recorder thing. I didn't have none of this shit. I didn't have none of this shit. Now, mind you, this is back in like 2009, 2010. When did Pluto go into Capricorn? 2008. Yeah. Guess what I said when Obama was won the presidency? Guess what I said? Welcome to the end of the world. I mean, he sounded great, and I'm like, I hope he does well. I really do, but there was something inside me that said, this is bad. This is really bad. And I didn't know why. I mean, I should have been feeling that the whole doggone time, but it wasn't until then when I realized how much we were in trouble. Oh, you're racist. It had nothing to do with that. There was just something, I didn't know what it was. And like I said, it wasn't anything personal. He said everything right, but his spirit didn't feel the same. What he said and how, and then when I saw what was happening, I'm just like, there's no freaking way. Of course he was going to get a second term. Who did he run against? Mittens. That's who. Or we could have been stuck with McCain. I mean, really, we didn't have a choice. It was all bad. All of it. The whole entire time. We're just now waking up to it. Damn. But like I said, something just didn't sit right in my spirit, even though he spoke so nice and he sounded so smart. But there was something that just wasn't right. And I don't know what it was. I do now. I know what it was now. And like I said, I wanted him to succeed. I'm thinking maybe he could be like the Martin Luther King of our day. Like, we need that. Au contraire, did we get that? But, well, anyway, I had the paranormal team come over here because I had these great AEVPs. So I brought back the old roommate that happened, that got kicked out. I brought back the old roommate and my Virgo other friend who thought I was nuts and said, there's no way your house is haunted. She also was around when I also predicted Trump to win in 2016. And she saw that I was right. Hi, Simply Me. How are you? To the point where it was like, I went and watched the freaking countdown of the 2016 election with her. And the whole entire time. And I'm like, and when Pennsylvania came in and that's when they won, I was like, see, told you. Who told you? It was me. I had people from up in New York. Dude, I was on live streams telling people, look, he's going to win. He's going to win. And nobody would listen. Everyone thought, well, that's not going to happen. Pennsylvania always goes blue. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but not this time. Telling you, God sent the angels to hit those Dominion machines. Anywho, well, the paranormal, that's the girl that was here. And she saw, because they hooked up all the shit, the video recorders and all of that stuff and all of the hot spots in the house. And they caught that orb coming out from my main bedroom through the freaking huge orb, goes right into my daughter's bedroom, right from the closet on in. And we got that on video. Now, those people no longer are a paranormal team because about a year or two after that, they came here. They were in a really bad car accident. So, trying to get them to come back is a no-go. Yeah. It was like 9 months to a year. They were in a really, really bad car accident. Guess what? Roughly around the same time, so was I. Had to have surgery on my neck as a result. Yeah, when Uranus went into Aries. Yep. So, at that point, I was still afraid of the ghosts that were in my house. And I didn't realize how much they fed off fear. I didn't realize how much they fed off the fear. And I mean, everybody in the house, the energy was so thick and heavy. You could feel the energy just be like laying on you. It was very thick. My God, one time, a whole leg of my house of electricity went out. The whole leg. And the electric company was like, well, we're going to have to go outside and check outside. And we're going to have to check to see if your box, if it was outside or if it's internal. Because if it's internal, then you have to pay for it. It's something internal. I have to get an electrician. Well, here, out of the box, it wasn't like lightning hit it. They told me that. But there was a whole meltdown on the box. Remember I kept telling you I was smelling that electricity shit? Well, I kept on having dreams too of a house that was here prior to this house being here that burnt to the ground but had no proof. I was legit trying to get proof of what was on this land before this house was built, because this house wasn't built here till 1930. However, if you see the way this house is laid out, this is an original plot. All the houses that are out and back of my house, that they were built way after this plot was already here. So they considered this from 1900 on to 1930 when my house was built. This was a vacant lot. And I'm thinking, well, what was here before that? I had no proof. And because the way the city was, we didn't have the flood wall over here to keep the water out. So like this town would flood a lot, especially down here. So like the courthouse lost a lot of the freaking, and the historical society lost a lot of the records in floods and stuff. What, Liv? Hang on. What? Yeah. Oh, my kid had freaking paranormal experiences happen here too with her friends. That thing with Rosario freaked her out. That was after we moved. That was after we moved back. Telling them how haunted this house was.
Who?
YouTube.
Oh.
We're talking about the supernatural tonight. No, stay away.
I didn't invite them in here. As you saw, they just ran in.
I know. Well, where was I at in that story? Damn it! Now I'm off. Why do you come in here and mind swipe me all the time? Take these cats with you. Take them. They're not allowed in here.
Come on, James.
Jack, get out.
Come on, Jack.
Thank you. Night. I'm glad the cat likes her. He wouldn't move for anyone else. Where was I at in that? Oh, I'm going back to that. Yes. I end up having a divine appointment with the woman over here on the corner that, yeah, okay. I end up having, a divine setup meeting with a woman on the corner, and I have my little cell phone with me, my little pink Pantech. This goes way back, people. I still have the phone, and I still can charge it, and I still have the pictures on it. Like I said, I try to explain this to people about how supernatural my life is, and they don't realize I didn't just have one experience. This has been my whole damn experience, my whole life. And I end up talking to the woman. She owns it used to be an old bank over here on the corner, Cape Town Bank, and they made it a house. And we're talking, and I said about, asked her if she knew anything, since she owns that old building that's even placard and stuff from 1883, I think, 1882, I don't know, something like that. But she had a picture hanging on her wall of the old bank and what it looked like out here on Front Street from like where the river is, and it was like an old painting and stuff. And next to the bank there was like right beside it, because there sits up closer right on the road. My house sits back on Fort Augusta, but which they're pretty much they're right behind each other. It's the next street over. But she let me in. She let me see a picture, and in the picture there was like a garden next to the bank, and behind that garden was a red brick house. My house ain't brick, and this picture was done in like 1870. So there was a house that sat here. Yes, there was a farmhouse that sat right where I'm at. I ain't lying. I'm telling y'all the truth. Like, such as life. This has been my whole damn life. So I took a picture of it with my Pantech. I asked her first. I said, can I? She won't let me take another picture again after that, because like they're very religious and very Christian. And when I told her the story about what I knew, and then she's like, I never saw that image in that before. She never even realized in the picture there was a house that sat here. But I told her, I said, I'm pretty sure that there was a house that sat on my property before. And I'm trying to figure out what was there. And then that house showed up in the picture. Then she realized that there was a house that I wasn't lying. So I actually have, and I should take it to the freaking courthouse and say, I want to know who lived here and what was here and what happened on my property. Because if it's a big secret, I deserve to know. I know it's a part of Fort Augusta, which was a British stronghold. So, like, I know there was a lot of stuff that happened on this land. Part of possibly the Underground Railroad stuff and all that. Well, I know that there was a house. That house that sat here burned to ground. I'm telling you right now, I know what happened because I smelled it. I legit have the ability to go into time warps, and I can feel. I have that clairsmelliant. I smelled it. I knew that there was a fire that was here. And I'm pretty sure that that woman that was in that EVP that we heard that barely could talk, that sounded like she was choking, was one that died in a fire. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I mean, that all happened before I met her. And I was looking for all the records and stuff. And then I end up having a divine meeting. He has this picture on a wall with a freaking house that used to sit here because I knew that there was one. Yeah. I mean, dude, she was like, it sounded like she was choking. And like I said, my aunt and my cousin both heard the EVP. They cannot call me a liar for this. They had it. They heard it too. And I know that they watch my channel sometimes. So hello, I'm not lying. That's the type of shit in my life that I had to deal with. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I would know things and then I would get the proof. I'd have the EVP, then I was having all kinds of paranormal stuff happening. I mean, people were trying to come up with any other reason why I was getting zapped, my energy zapped all the time, why I was starting to go into depression, all that shit was happening. Mm-hmm. I mean, the tension in the house between me and the people who lived here was bad. Like, fighting all the time. And that's what spirits will sometimes make you do with families. It causes fighting and stuff. So it's one of those things where it's like, that negative energy, I want no part of it. And if you're not attuned to what's going on, those haunted houses can really wreak havoc on you. I told you, I'm the type of person that I wake up to shit. I don't even try. Just my mere presence wakes up environments. And I feel bad. That's why I said I'm supernatural, and it's not something that I am happy about. But I have to embrace it because it's happened. So I have to prepare. Like I said, I'm that Ace of Wands. I light up shit. I bring energy to things that I have that power to where they know that I'm empathic. See, the thing is back then, I didn't know anything about tarot. Nothing. I didn't watch astrology. I knew nothing about any of this stuff. But I was having these supernatural experiences. Well, my daughter, here's another sync for you. My daughter, when she was little and I first was doing what she would legit come here and she would call one ghost my divine masculine's name. And then we looked through records and there was legit someone with not the last name, but with the first name. And I was always getting a William all the time, and that was in the records too. They're both buried down here in this cemetery. Oh, they do know when we arrive, all right. That's why I have to do clearings constantly on this house. Like, the vibe in my house is wonderful now. I'm not saying that I don't still have problems and shit, you know, but it's not near like it was. And then, like I said, me living here and shit, like, it does open up portals. And obviously, one of the ways for me to be able to know what's going on and actually use my gifts, help people, and I have no choice. Either remain ignorant to all of this and just let it run amok on me, or I could learn how to fight back. And that's exactly what I did. I learned how to fight back. Like I said, after that, it was like sink. And this is when all the narcissists started coming into my life. I started knowing and I started seeing people's demons really come out. And I don't really want to say whatever, like, I think we all have narcissism in us. Some of us have a little bit healthy narcissism, but other people don't, obviously. But I think that we actually draw out the demons in people, especially when you start walking in your power. When you start knowing who you are and you start saying, we're not taking this bullshit from you anymore, dark forces, it has to back up, because the power that I have is way greater because I'm in a body. I have a soul and I have a spirit, and I'm connected to the Creator. And I have the ability to co-create with God while I'm on this planet. So that's why I decided, you know what? I'm going to use these gifts. I'm going to figure out what they are. I was going to college throughout all of this, okay? So not only was I dealing with this supernatural, and every single apartment I lived in, the spirits would wake up. Every single place I moved to, haunted. All of them. If there was something there, I woke it up. So I'm like, all right, this is how it's going to be. And I'm hearing, he left for work, and I'm hearing the fucking doors in his house, down the hallway, banging. Yeah, there was a guy I was seeing up in Altoona for a little while. He's a Libra. And anytime I go up there and he'd be at work and I'd be at his house, I'd be waiting for him to get back. If I'd have to go downstairs, there'd always be cabinet doors open in his kitchen. Here I come to find out his father passed away in the living room. One time I go up there, and it was to the day of his dad's passing, and I come down to leave. I got a shower. I was getting around. I was putting my makeup on, and he goes downstairs to the kitchen, and he screams at the top of his lungs, "Lisa, get down here!" And I legit looked up in the mirror, and I already saw what he saw downstairs in the mirror, in the bathroom. And as I'm walking down the steps, I'm like, don't tell me all the cabinet doors are open. Everything was open. All the cabinet doors, all the fucking kitchen door, the microwave, the TV was turning on and off by itself. And I said, well, we were fucking both in shock. His shoes looked like they were, like, all his sneakers that he had out by the front door were all on. It looked like everything, like a vortex, got sucked down into the basement. That morning, before I was getting around to leave, I legit saw it, because he also had an attic room. I legit saw a black shadow go the whole way across the ceiling in his. Yep. Even the dishwasher racks were out. Like, the stove was open. What the is happening? Pots and pans on the floor. Yeah, it was crazy. I'm like, did this ever happen here before? He's like, never. What did he? Never. Sorry. I'm sorry. Welcome to my life. I mean, it's so pronounced and so prominent at this point in my life. Dude, I'll never forget the time I was bit on the finger by nothing that was there when I was down, when I was at one friend's house overnight. I was laying there cuddling with my dude, and I had my finger freaking, my hand was like laying over. Oh, yeah. And I'm just laying there, and all of a sudden I feel something clamp on my finger. Like, and I knew what it was. It was a fairy. I could tell. I'm like, that it wasn't like something like a bug. I knew because it had my finger in its mouth. And I'm pretty sure it was like a fairy. What they would call a little, yeah, that. One bit me. And it was interesting because when him and I we were both Aries, and when him and I would hang out, man, I would channel like a sucker, especially when it came to artwork. He was big, he loved artwork, and he would show me different pieces, and I'd channel what it was and what it meant to me. And he was just like, wow, that's kind of crazy. That's amazing. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That was my first boyfriend from way, way back when I was like the one that I knew was gonna break up with me at the beginning of this. The boyfriend that I knew that was gonna break up with me at the time, it was him. Him and I kind of reconnected back in 2017. Briefly. He actually went to my college graduation and saw me graduate. And then Divine Masculine came 2 months later. All these people started coming back in my life in 2017, and I'm just like, what the fuck? All these people from my past, I'm telling you, one after the other, and I'm like, wow. The Gemini tried getting back with me back then too, and I'm like, no. Nope. I'm here for a fun time, not a long time, bub. Yeah, back then I just got rid of the abusive Sagittarius that I would get freaking telepathic messages about him. Dude. I knew what strip club he was at. I knew what stripper he went home with. I knew what he was doing, and I didn't have proof. But I knew I was actually looking at where he could be. And then I looked through all the pictures of the chicks, and I knew which one he was messing around with. And guess what Lisa did? Lisa messaged her and was really nice about it. And actually, a little bit, I just wanted answers, okay? Don't judge me. Because he kept gaslighting me, and he would lie. He would lie. So I messaged her, and I'm like, hey, I said, I have a question. Is there any openings at the club you work at? Her and I talked back and forth for a little while. We were friends on Facebook up until a little while ago, and then I was like, and that chick started riding my nuts and shit after years, and I was just like, enough of her. She's low vibing. But like, she was really into the witchcraft shit. I'm not. I'm more into like, I have these gifts and I can't help it. Like, this is something that I asked for. This isn't something that I went looking for. This isn't something that I studied. This is something that found me. Since before I was born, it's an innate gift. So I chose to make lemonade out of lemons. Like, what else was I gonna do? What else was I gonna do? Have any of you had like this many supernatural experiences? Like, has it been? I mean, I'm not even reaching the tip of the iceberg. And after I met my masculine, I mean, I was having all this all shit was all prior to my masculine, okay? 'Cause this shit was building and building, and then I met him, and it just went poof. And that's when I started learning how to read tarot, and I started really getting to understand channeling and astrology. And I hit the dark. That's when I really started. I mean, not that I didn't hit dark nights of the soul prior, but a lot of that had to do with my pituitary tumor getting all messed up and because of abuse. Yeah, my prolactin levels, and it started showing up again. I'm pretty sure, in my health, sort of like a repeat. Thanks a lot, Saturn. But physician, heal thyself. I have these gifts, so. Well, alrighty then. I've been called that by people. Yo, you wanna know what? We would have been the ones that would have fucking burned at the stake in past lives. I'm pretty sure we were the ones that were burned at the stake in past lives. Yeah. Can you think about this? I want y'all to think about something. This is something that popped in my head. Think about all the children who died in the womb since the 50s that are going to be reincarnating back into bodies here very, very soon, if they haven't already started. Think about it. All of our celestial brothers and sisters who've been murdered and never got to make it out into this world. Think about it. They're gonna be reincarnating. Dude, that's why I'm positive that that's why they started the whole murder inside the womb. You know what I mean? I don't want to say the word on here, but yeah, abortion. I think that's why, because they knew that the indigos, and they knew that some of us that were really powerful that were coming in at that time, they wanted to not have an overpopulation of extremely psychic fucking people. So they decided to take us out, or try to. I mean, we've had demonic forces freaking assigned to our asses since prior. I've said this. If you have any kind of gifting like this or anointing, you legit have entities that are assigned to you to try and take you out. That's why there's around every single person, you have guardian angels. It's just God gives some, dude, God gave me 10,000. I have 10,000 angels at my disposal. You want to know how I know? Psalm 91. That's how I know. When he gave me that scripture, he gave me 10,000 angels to help with my mission. Because he said I was going to need them. And boy, do I need them. So everywhere I go, I have this big energy and this big aura with a lot of angels, and it stirs up everybody's demons that I come in contact with. Now if they have good energy, 911, yeah. Like I said at the beginning of this. The Gestapo. It's the energy of the Gestapo that comes at me. It's not really the person. I don't have any problems with people per se. I just have a problem with, their dark energy. Because they project it on me. I know. Well, they do. You know how I know this? I have Pluto opposite Sun. That's an astrology. If you have Pluto opposite your sun, you're naturally hated. And then I also have Pluto squaring Saturn and squaring my moon, and it's opposite my sun, and more opposite Jupiter. Yep. Sure do. Got lots of people who hate me. And then I have a freaking Mars sextile with my Chiron to the degree. So one of my jobs is to heal the masculine energy. That's specifically why, like, my masculine, his natal Chiron is within 2 degrees of my Jupiter. So that's why I'm here, to help him with that part. Like, he's going through that right now. So that's why I'm here, to help heal that masculine energy, and stand up for our men. Down with the patriarchy. Look, I'm not saying men are perfect at all, because they got a lot of fucking faults. However, us women, we do too. Stop being the pick-me girl. Own your own energy, for crying out loud. Seriously. You have to own your own power, own your own energy. Stop leeching off of people. Absolutely. Yeah. Now do you understand why I say they can't kill me and they can't take me out? All they could do is try. If I have an open door, they can make my life hell. Absolutely. But this is why I tried to explain to my masculine. Look, dude, you don't know all the stuff that I've gone through and all of the things that I've experienced. That's only the supernatural stuff, I'm telling you, that I've almost gone 2 hours and haven't even reached the tip of the iceberg. The morning I was in my car accident, when Uranus went into Aries, permanently, that morning I was in a bad car accident and I was rear-ended, had to have neck surgery as a result 9 months later. Yeah. I'm pretty sure Saturn was, I might have been having my Saturn return at that time. That might have been during the Saturn return of mine. So it was squaring Saturn. Skeletal problems. Jesus. I tell lies. 2010. Yeah, my surgery in 2011. Yeah, it would have been September of 2010. Roughly around September 21st, because it was the week before I started my classes in college. No, that was a month after I started my classes in college. And the disc legit, like I started, it was bad. Yep, Uranus went into Aries, and that's when I started going to school. They always say that that's higher learning and all that other stuff. They aren't lying. When Uranus went, I didn't know any of this stuff about astrology back then. I knew nothing about that. I knew I was an Aries. That's all I knew. I was all Aries. But I was very interested in, like, if I naturally was attracted to other Aries too. 2 chicks that I freaking considered friends at the time had the same exact birthday as me. I have 3 friends that have the same exact, well, one has the same exact birthday to the year. We were like 8 hours apart, 9 hours apart, something like that. She wasn't supposed to be born on my birthday. She was premature. I wish she would have held off. She doesn't deserve my birthday. Throw that out there. She's I'm not going there. And then the other one, yeah, she's just a 2-faced, dog-faced pony soldier, the other one. Would fucking throw anybody under the freaking, she's the pick-me girl, would throw anybody under the fence for fucking, or under the fucking boat or car for freaking dick. Oh yeah, I have lots of friends like that. Ditch you to go and get random. It's disgusting. But couldn't trust any of these bitches around here. No. No names. Just telling you what they were like. All these chicks were like this. Not me. I mean, I was dating people, but my friends, I still made sure I made time for them and went to visit them. It was always lopsided. My relationships were always lopsided. Friends, family, boyfriend, dude. And then all these guys come back and they realize how much they screwed up that I was a real one. Yeah, like I really don't talk to anybody around here. And it's not that I have any, at this point, it's been so long, I don't really have anything against anybody. But here's the thing, I know all their secrets, and I've never really went out there and freaking exposed just how horrible these people are. I've never done it. But my God, if they would have had, oh, and anything that they could use against me, which all they could ever say is, oh, well, you're getting divorced. Yeah, big whoop, I am. So you're dating someone and you're still married, but I was legally separated for a couple years at that point, and that's all they could say. It's like, whatever. Like I said, all these friends would all backstab me, turn on me, but I don't even necessarily think that it was their fault. I think it was a divine setup for me to learn something. Not just be so naive. And my masculine really taught me that. Like, I was still naive when I'm up to the time I met him. And he would always say, not everything that glitters is gold, Lisa. Not everything that glitters is gold. And then he'd always ask me that why he has dreams of dead people. You're a Scorpio with a Pisces moon. That's a part of who you are. Welcome. That's why him and I have such a freaking connection, because we both can connect. And I have mediumship abilities as well. Like, I hear them, I see them, I sense them, I can smell it. I know. Which is why him and I always had that knowing of each other, because like I knew that he just never tapped into it, and if he did, my God. But him and I both had. I like Scorpio. You say you like Scorpio, and the freaking thing cuts out. We're not talking shit about Scorpios. Don't worry. We have mad respect for Scorpios. I have mad respect for every sign over here. Now that I actually understand how they all work. Like I'm able to put myself and jump into each sign. I understand what they're going through. You know what I mean? Like, I'm all signs at this point. I'm that high priestess. I've made the high priestess level. Level up. Now we're back at the full. I like Scorpios too. They have a hard life. They really do. Hi B, how are you? Scorpio, they do. They have a really hard life. B, did you come over here from Outlaw's channel? Are you the Pisces that came over? Did you come over here from Outlaw's channel? I was talking astrology on there tonight. Oh, I got mad respect for Scorpios. Yo, you guys had a hard damn life. Yep. Okay, you did come over here from Outlaw's channel. Well, subscribe. I read tarot. I'm actually pretty good at what I do. If you go back to this video, this live stream is really long, so my apologies. But this is all about the ghost experiences and stuff like that I've had. Yeah, I'm telling you, you guys do have my divine masculine is a Scorpio. So like with a Pisces moon. So like I understand Scorpio. Oh, well, thank you. I understand Scorpio. The thing is, you know how Outlaw's having an awakening. I don't think he realizes it. Yeah, anytime. I'm happy you're here. Like, everything that he was talking about is exactly what I've experienced, where I don't want to be around public. You can ask my other people, anybody that get on here. I've isolated for a good 2 years prior to COVID. I've lived this life. And that's what's happening with, I'm pretty sure that's what's happening with him. When he said he was an Aquarius, I knew it. I'm like, he's having an awakening. That's exactly what's going on with him. And the thing is when you don't understand the astrology, you don't understand who you are inside. It's very confusing until you understand this. Same since at 2010. That's roughly, I think, when Neptune went into Pisces. Yeah, like he was saying, like he doesn't like to be, he really does not like human beings. And I'm thinking, I understand you. I don't either. Most of them are dog-faced pony soldiers, if you ask me. Like if they're still living in like this matrix and thinking, I'm bound since 2010. Well, I mean, I did the whole college thing and I was still trying to find my way through the matrix as I'm dealing with all of this supernatural stuff that's going on in my life. And then when I realized in 2015 is when I really started watching like astrology, like good astrologers, like the Peace Dealer, who actually knows this stuff and understands the planets, which, by the way, I've predicted a lot of things that has actually come true. And I will be coming on and doing a live reading tomorrow. And a lot of the stuff that I pick up and I channel actually has to do with worldwide events. If you don't believe me, ask Spiritual Prepper on here. It might come out in code, but I get worldwide events and stuff that has, like I predicted, I've known about the laptop from hell. I've known about that since 2019. I actually did a reading on it. I did a reading on, and it was right prior to the election, which I kind of pulled out that something was going to happen with those paper, ballot things. Not allowed to say anything about the E on here. I already lost one video. I already got one strike. I don't need another one. Started cracking down. This is why I only have close to like 4,000 subs. I've been on here since 2017 pulling cards. Yes, I'm in Aries. Actually, I'm in Aries. I have Jupiter in Aries and Chiron in Aries, and I have my Mercury 27 degrees in Pisces. So like I channel this life. I have an affinity with Pisces. I always did because my one grandfather that was a Pisces, I never met him, but yet I'm very connected to my deceased grandfather. He had one of them. I like Pisces because you want to know what? They can show up and then they can escape for a real long time. Like I said, Pisces are here for a good time, not a long time. It's like Pisces are here. Now, because I've been very inconsistent with putting up a lot of readings too, I probably look, I have well over 1,000 videos on here, and I'm so shadow banned because of the stuff that I get, and I have spoken out a lot against because I'm a Patriot tarot reader. Let's put it that way. Like I'm a DeSantis supporter more than anything. I'm not a big Trump fan. I'm not. There's something about his energy that I don't know. It's one of those things for me where it's like, yeah, he's way better. We would be in way better shape, but I'm trying to think that a lot of this I feel is really theatrical. That people, like, I gotta still get down into the matrix and figure out what's going on and see what's happening in humankind and the ones who are awakening. And then I gotta come up, and go back up into the ethers, or I'm going to be just annoyed. I've been extremely censored on here. That I did start a BitChute, by the way. I put the stuff on my community page. Go over. I'm going to start actually doing readings I was telling Spiritual Prepper on here, I want to do readings for cold cases for people who have missing people that maybe I can help people find them that are missing. not necessarily, like, I'd like to do bigger cases, but it's one of those things where I don't want anything where I'm going to have the Clintons hunt me down and attack me, you know? Like, I want to help people find their loved ones. Oh, are you talking about EPSTEINE? He didn't hang himself. Nope. I'm pretty sure I don't even think he's I think he's back in his homeland. I think they sent him out of here. I don't know. That's my gut feeling on it. Maybe I should pull cards on that. Like, my thing is I wanna help people, and I've helped a lot of people figure out what's been going on behind the scenes, especially when it comes to actually helping. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know anybody that does that to children. I don't give a shit. He doesn't deserve to be on this earth. I don't think they did him technically dirty. He did himself dirty. Him doing what he did with those kids. Sorry, I have no love lost for anybody who abuses kids. None. Just my opinion. Actually, it's the major census of everybody else too. Like I said, that causes trauma in children, and all that type of stuff has happened to me as a child. Not technically like that, but just I know what trauma and sexual abuse does to a kid. So it messes them up. And this is one of those things. Trauma. Oh, okay. Oh. Well, I want DeSantis, to be honest with you. I think he's much more of a hard ass. I mean, when I saw, I'm kind of a little iffy on him for the reason of what he did in my home state here in Pennsylvania. Oz. Are you kidding me? However, he is the lesser of the two evils, and I have to say that. Yeah, I'm a survivor of that shit too. And my masculine actually helped me through a lot of that. Just being able to tell somebody about it that I actually care about, that actually I knew listened, and not necessarily take pity on me, but understand why I am the way I am and the stuff that I've learned from it. I was able to at least tell him about it. I got a lot of healing from being able to talk out my stuff and be like, look, this is why. Like, it would piss me off when he would defend certain people's actions because they had a hard life and because I was critical. It's like I have really no love lost for people like strippers and shit. I don't have a love lost for people who live that lifestyle. I think it's degrading. Oh, it's fine, B. I think it's degrading. Especially back then. Now, I understand why people do it. You know, if you're a woman, I get that. But I'd never used my abuse when I was a child to go and act like a hoe. I'm sorry, I didn't. And he would like legit freaking defend these chicks. He must have thought I just grew up with no freaking childhood trauma. Au contraire. You know, and this is all the internal, this is the stuff that most people just want to stuff. And it's all a part of this awakening that many in humankind need to face and need to look at this time. It shut down if you don't heal it, it shuts down your spiritual gifts. And it stops you if you don't heal your inner child. Now that very well could be Scorpio interference. him and I do have that telepathic connection. He's extremely important to me still. And like I said, I shared a lot of this stuff with him. And I noticed he was a lot kinder to me after the fact that I did tell him, like, look, my life wasn't fucking peaches and cream. But I never used the excuse to go out and frickin' be a whore. Okay? I didn't. So if we want to really talk about abuse, let's talk about it. And then he really had nothing to say after that. I'm like, you don't know my life. I never freaking, I did what everybody else did, and I just acted like it never happened. And that was the wrong thing to do, because it messed me up for anything else in my life that I tried to do. It would interfere with stuff because I wasn't dealing with what was going on the inside of me. And that was a part of this awakening. That was the blessing part for some people. Unfortunately, like most people think that this awakening just had to do with the exposure of what's happening in the government and in the 3D. No, there's an awakening that needs to go on the inside, and it's happening, whether we're conscious of it or not. I guarantee you, people really in the last 2 years started having tons of dreams, tons and tons and tons of dreams, telling them things, or they can't figure it out. Like, why am I dreaming about this? And it has to do with possibly world events, but they don't realize that this is the part of their awakening. It's because if you're living in this matrix, you can only go so far in the 3D. You can only imagine so far. When you're sleeping, you're in other realms when you're sleeping. And this is when we're attacked, is in our dreams a lot of times. I'm attacked all the time. It doesn't matter. I'm getting thought projections thrown at me all the time. However, the way dark forces can get at you, and or if God can speak to you, it's through your dreams. If you're closed off, and you're stuck in the matrix and you're only looking at things in the 3D. That's why, like I said, politics, it's a 3D thing for me. Like, I don't really give a shit what's happening with them. Technically, like, I get it. It affects our resources and stuff. So that's important. However, what's not important is all the fighting, and that's all bullshit. And here's what most people don't understand. Most normies don't, or whatever you want to call them, they don't understand, is that the people running this shit beyond that are actually running the world, okay? People who are running this shit, they understand this astrology stuff. They understand the way the planets work. They understand dates. They understand numerology. That's why 8/8, that's why this happened with the former president. Or should I say the rightful one. That's what happened to him. They waited. What happened on 2/2/2022? That's when Russia invaded Ukraine. They look at dates because they understand there's portals that are open then. And it's a time for that. Dude, the same thing. If you look back in 2014 or 2015 when Crimea was reestablished with Russia, that was the same date. Look it up. I think it was 2014. 2/22. That's when they went and took Crimea back. That's when Obama got really mad. So you got to look at that. All this is connected. And if normies don't start understanding, they got to understand who they are first. And then they can start seeing what's going on in the 3D. And when people wake up to who they freaking are, and a lot of it has to do with understanding who you are, your astrology, and why you are the way you are. And then you start looking at your inner child healing. And then you realize all of this shit that you've gone through. And that's when you really wake into who God is in your life. And the role you are to play in this earth isn't supposed to be just, we live, we die, and we work. Like, that's what they want you to think. I know this. Oh, I saw this. I saw this even in the tarot community. I'm like, doggone it. Like, I get it. That's why we got to keep the politics out of the tarot stuff. That's why I say over on BitChute, like it'd be a lot more liberal. Excuse me, it'd be a lot more easier for me to talk about all of this stuff, politics over there, because it's not near as censored as this platform. Not to mention, YouTube hates live streams. They do. They don't like when you live stream. They want content. Then they censor your content. It's just this platform is just so easy to upload on and so easy to just go live. BitChute, I don't think they have live streaming over there, so I'm gonna have to keep the live streaming over here. I mean, I'm gonna do Rumble and stuff, but like YouTube legit has her own live stream. Like over on other platforms, you have to like use StreamYard and all kinds of other exterior programming, and I'm just like, it's a pain. So I'm just gonna keep it to videos over there. I'll do the live streaming over here as long as I have my platform. Don't take me down, YouTube. I ain't talking shit on you. I've talked a lot of shit, I know. I deserve my censoring. I earned it. I don't condone smoking. Don't do this, kids. I do. I've earned my censoring. I had a big mouth, but whatever. It's all true. I didn't tell a lie. I knew China was running shit. I knew, dude, I fucking knew this. I've been saying this for the last year. 2 years. They are crazy, but hey, I mean, it gives me a place to connect with you guys, so that's all I care about. That's all I care about, as long as I can connect. I'm not going to come on here and get upset and freak out anymore. I've learned to tame my temper. But I'm glad B came over. Thanks for coming over and hanging out. Since you came over, B, I did start getting channeled messages, but I didn't, and I got to come on and do the Lightworker Starseed reading tomorrow. But I will upload readings for Aquarius and Pisces. I already did Libras. I got 5 done. I got 5 done in one day, and that's kind of crazy for me. Usually I do 3. I can't do Aquarius and Pisces in the same day, though. I can't. If I do Aquarius, I gotta separate. Those two are like bad kids together. Like, I'm like in Lala. If I do Aquarius and Pisces in the same day, I won't be back in this realm for at least a week. So I gotta keep it to a minimum with those two. 2 bad kids playing together. It's just not good. Like I said, here for a good time, not a long time. That might be the name of the reading for Pisces. I should write that one down. Yo, I said once Pisces wakes up to who they are, it's all over. As supernatural as what they are once they wake up to who they are, holy crap. And the Aquarius too. Canaan Missing Project said it. Said what? What'd they say? Oh, YouTube crazy. Well, Salty Cracker say YouTube a-hole. Or a-hole. I forget how Salty Cracker said. Have you heard? No, I haven't. Imagine me with a Scorpio. It's oh, God. Yeah, that would be exhausting. Not to mention, you're dealing with all these squares right now. Your rising and moon sign is being squared by Saturn, and it's being opposed by Uranus. The north node, the south node is in Scorpio right now, and the sun's in Leo. So you're dealing with a grand fixed square right now. So I'm sure there's all kinds of stuff, crazy shit coming at you. Plus you're a Pisces with Aquarius, or you're Aquarius. You're a cusper? Oh, God. That's how I know somebody actually appreciates the zodiac and stuff like that, is when they know that they're a cusper. And I actually have a couple people, Leo midheavens. B, we need to talk to Outlaw about what's going on. Somebody needs to let him know he's actually having a spiritual awakening. He's not just having an awakening. That's what's going on. He's not honestly dealing with depression. He's not. He's dealing with a spiritual awakening. And dude, this happened when Saturn went into Aquarius. That's when the whole E thing happened and everybody started freaking out, and then COVID and all that. That's when Saturn went into Aquarius. Guess what? Saturn is a planet of restriction and structure and government. And when Saturn went into Aquarius, what happened to and Aquarius represents the collective of people. You know, not just the selfish signs like from Aries through Capricorn. Aquarius is all about the upper dimensions. It's beyond the midheaven. So when Saturn went into Aquarius, that was when the COVID restrictions hit. That's when social distancing happened. Yeah. And then that's when Pluto is like at the third decan of freaking Capricorn. Pestilence. Oh, yeah. B, I'm sorry. Do you have anything in Taurus by chance? My God. I have a Grand Cardinal cross, so I understand this energy. Like I have Saturn in... It's a good time. You have Uranus in Taurus. You're having your Uranus return? Oh, Uranus is Uranus actually rules Uranus and Saturn co-rule Aquarius. Neptune rules Pisces, and then you have Pluto and Mars that rule your rising and moon. It's a lot of chaotic energy right there. It's a lot of transformative energy. Damn it. Come on. Fine. I won't light it. B, hang on. Are you married, B? Are you married? Yeah, right now Mars is in Taurus as well. We have the North Node, you have the South Node in freaking Scorpio. So there's a lot of shit that's... You do realize that Hillary Clinton and Biden are both Scorpios, right? And old Trumpy, he's a Gemini. I was practically married to somebody. What's his sign? I feel like fighting. Yeah, I'm sure you do. Yeah, doggone Mars, I'm telling you. Just wait till Mars does a screeching halt in Gemini and goes backward. All through Taurus, all the way back through Aries, and doesn't turn direct. Yeah, once Mars goes retrograde, Capricorn, Gemini. Oh. Yeah, well, be careful, B, when Mars goes into Gemini, dude. And then it's going to go retrograde. I don't think it'll be in Gemini real long until it goes to a screeching halt. I think it actually goes like it goes like 2 or 3 degrees. It does a screeching halt on my South Node. Right on top of it. Mars does a screeching halt on my South Node in Gemini. So all you Geminis, we actually have past lives. Your South Node is your past lives, by the way. So me and my auntie have past lives. I knew this. She's one of those hidden... like, whatever. I don't even go there. I have Pluto in my 12th house. Talk about fun. It's how I can see like the deep, dark I usually can see right to the core of somebody's soul and what they're going through. And if they have like demonic forces and stuff, I usually can tell. Oh, your South Node's in Leo. Oh, your North Node's in Aquarius. Oh, you poor thing. You really have a grand fixed square. You poor thing. Your chart's like mine. I have a grand cardinal square. Your chart's a lot like mine. Midheaven is in between the 9th and 10th house. Or no, the 10th. No, it is the 9th and 10th house. Goes right into your freaking work sector. Public image. Oh, God. My public image, honestly, is my 10th house is in Cancer and Saturn's there. Restrictions on my public image. Thanks, Saturn. It's called censorship. Oh, yes. Well, you're going to be dealing with Saturn for a while. Because it's going to go in, obviously, Saturn goes through it's at least in the third decan of Aquarius, and then it's going retrograde now, and then it's going to, I think it goes retrograde to like 16 degrees, and then it goes back all the way through these points, and then it'll go into Pisces. So you're going to be dealing with Saturn for at least another 3-4 years. Saturn is not fun. Saturn is actually exalted in Aries, so likes it in Aries. Like, I think Mars is exalted in... The sun's exalted in Aries as well. I think the sun is kind of like exalted in every sign it's in because it's the sun. You know? Everywhere that the sun is in. Good old Leo. They're the only ones ruled by the sun. You know, and this is why I cannot get behind the sidereal freaking astrology. Like, the people who teach that, like, I can't. I can't. I like the traditional tropical astrology. I mean, because honestly, in sidereal, where they plug in Ophiuchus, I'm thinking, okay, well, if Ophiuchus is a part of all this, and it makes everything lopsided, first off, what element is it? What planet ruler does it have? Like, it doesn't have any of the other stuff. It's been a pleasure to meet you too, and yeah, I'm actually going to soon get off here. This is an awful long live stream. I will upload readings on here. I'm going to try and get them over to BitChute at one point. I got to figure out how to upload on there. I just started a BitChute. So go Blue Storm Tarot over there. I'm actually Blue Flame Integration over here, but I changed it to Blue Storm Tarot because that's just going to be a tarot channel. Anyway, have a good night. See you again soon. Check back. Thanks for subscribing. Yeah, thanks for coming on. Anywho, I think I'm going to get off here. It's getting late. But I figured I'd come on live and we would talk ghosts and stuff. So people can actually see where the hell I am at. And why I am the way I am. And some of the supernatural events that have happened in my life. Okay. Sounds good, B. Thanks for coming on. And yeah, definitely come back on. We will talk astrology and all kinds of fun stuff. I usually get channel messages and shit too. So I'm weird. Anyway, I love you. Have a good night. All right, collective. This is where we're at. We're going to have this Aquarius full moon in like T-minus, 12 hours? Godspeed. Because the next full moon is in Pisces. Yep. Next new moon will be in, hang on a minute, Virgo. Yeah, we'll soon be going into Virgo season. Oh, sugar now. We're about to go into Virgo season where a lot of shit's going to come out. Yeah, watch the media, man, because there's going to be a lot of shit coming out, and the sun's going to be opposing Neptune. So there's going to be some things that are going to be filtered. So, yeah. Anywho. I'm going to get off here. 2.5 hour long live stream. It's been fun talking. Have a good night, and yeah. Be looking for new readings, and I'm going to come on and do the Lightworker Starseed reading tomorrow. I already did Virgo's reading. My Virgo reading had to do with someone freaking cheating. You probably weren't involved in that. However, the Virgo reading, yeah, they were dealing with an Aries. Watch out. If Virgo's dealing with Aries, if they're a scuzzy ass Aries, oh yeah, I freaking lit into them. Like, Virgo, open your eyes. So yeah, I'll be coming on doing Lightworker Starseed reading, and yeah. Oh, did you see my Virgo reading? Poor Virgo. They don't listen. You come on here looking and you know what's going on. You knew the whole entire time. Like, I ain't telling you nothing you gut don't know. Oh, I've pretty much been single since Divine Masculine. And yeah, like, I mean, I tried to date 2-3 weeks. It doesn't go much past that. They find out how weird I am. And then supernatural shit starts happening. Hey, this is a part of who I am. We can start making fun supernatural shit start happening. That's what I want to do. All right, I'm off of here. I love you all. Have a good night, and I will see you during the Lightworker Starseed reading tomorrow. I do have to go take care of some things during the day, so it probably won't be until like 7 o'clock in the evening. That's when I'm going to try and come on. Hopefully, he don't call me tomorrow night. Because I swear if I'm on here and he calls, I'm not answering that phone when he calls. Like, he's not going to ruin my live stream. So, I mean, I could wait until 8 o'clock, and yeah, or I could do it at 5. We'll see. Just look for the live stream. I'll be coming on next time I come live. It'll be to do that reading, and it will be sometime tomorrow. Okay? When God says get behind the table, that's when I'm going. Okay? Love you. Have a good night. Mwah. See you later. Bye.